It's always got to be the goddamn Marlins, man. The Mets sweep the Phillies and then go out there Thursday and play incredibly sloppy baseball. And you can't win like that. 3 errors, missed tags, a bad play by Pete, 2 dumb throws home by McNeil where he should have got the short out. Just a lot of mental mistakes for a team that maybe was riding a little bit too high and feeling themselves a little bit too much after the Phillies, and then play a young Marlins team that's played good competitive baseball this year. Now, your hope is to win 3 out of 4. Sweeping teams is tough. And you can still do that, but unacceptable what happened on Thursday. Just a lot of mental mistakes. They tie the game 4-4, and then they kind of implode. Gregory Soto's come down to earth, and when the defense makes the errors that they do, you can't win ball games. And you're watching Mets Daily, and I'm your host, Jake Brown. At Jake Brown Live is where you can follow me. Subscribe to my YouTube at Jake Brown Live, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Follow me there. Appreciate the support. Smash that thumbs up right now in this video, please. It does help. Share the channel. Hit that subscribe button and scan that to become a Mets Daily Insider. Today, we are gifting 2 tickets to the September 18th Mets-Padres game and our randomized winner, Mets Daily Insider member. Congrats to Nathaniel. Nathaniel, you are the winner of the 2 tickets. We will shoot you a message if you're watching this, and I hope you are. Message me or whatever and comment on this. You are a winner, our Mets Daily Insider member. Shout out to Nathaniel. He's won 2 tickets in the Excelsior level for Mets Padres on that Thursday, September 18th game. If you can't make it, we'll give it to someone else. I know Mary had told me she can't make it that day, one of our members. So Nathaniel, congrats. You are our first ticket giveaway winner. My ticket personally. Fan arts didn't do anything. This is all me. So, this is for the fans, by the fans. On Twitter, we gave a guy Hyundai Club seats yesterday. There's nobody doing what I'm doing here at Mets Daily. So if you aren't supporting, you're a hater. You're a certified hater. So appreciate it, Nathaniel. Enjoy that game. We'll message you. You message us. We'll send you the tickets. And if you can't make it, we'll have someone else. I know it's a weekday afternoon, so it's a little tough. But Nathaniel won. And if you want to be a winner, it's $5 a month. It's cheaper than a bottle of water at the stadium, and you get a month of benefits and the chance to win tickets like Nathaniel just did. So shout out to our insider member family. And Mets Marlins tonight, game 2, and get excited. Jonah Tong. Can't you see that Tong, 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 Tong. And a good story in the New York Times by Ian O'Connor about Tong, and coming from the Toronto Mets to the New York Mets. Now, when he got the news, he avoided crying, but when he called his mom, he bawled his eyes out for an hour, and that's usually how it goes. It's always the mother that gets you emotional, and his dad had a tough day at work and said congrats, but was busy at the moment, but he's got his family going tonight. He said he's got his beautiful girlfriend going tonight. Jonah Tong Major League debut, and you think about this Mets rotation, you remember how we kind of got robbed of Harvey, Syndergaard, Matz, who am I forgetting? You got DeGrom, obviously. You got robbed of that era of that Mets pitching staff because one of them or multiple of them were always hurt, and it was an era that was short-lived. Now you start to salivate thinking, all right, Tong, McClain, soon Sproat. You still got Sangha Manaea. You got David Peterson. David Peterson's probably the 4th and the young guys. Manaea will be here for 2 more years. Sangha maybe a year or 2 more, but you start to think about that. You think Tong, Sproat, McClain, Peterson, and you start to think of a rotation that's young, under control, not expensive, and has a whole lot of talent. And Tong's off speed, his curve is filthy, just like you saw from McClain. He is striking out hitters at a historic rate in the minor leagues, and you start to salivate. I mean, listen, 179 strikeouts and 113 and 2/3 innings with a 1.43 ERA over 22 starts. This guy deserves to be here, and he's a kid. He's 22, but he looks like he's 18. I mean, he looks like a child. He kind of acts like one a little bit, but he's a dog on that mound. And if you're going tonight, you're in for a treat. And let's hope the moment of the spotlight isn't too big. It hasn't been for him all year. It seems like it won't. It seems like he's got the stuff that it won't be. But, man, if he goes out there and dazzles, you start to think about this Mets staff and can they, keep these guys going into October? And you're like, wait a second. We could win the whole damn thing. If we have these young arms who opposing hitters can't hit and they don't know them well enough, it's not outlandish to say they'll pitch in October. And at first I thought maybe it is with inning limits, but the Mets might have to say, screw it. F an innings limit. We're trying to win a ring. And I know an old school fan and even new school's got to say, screw the innings limits. Stop babying these kids. We need a ring, and these opportunities don't come by the wayside very often. You know, the league is up for grabs this year, and I think the Dodgers are the clear-cut favorite, but the Dodgers have shown some holes in the armor here. And they haven't been fully healthy, so we got to test that. But Ohtani, the pitcher, has not been unhittable. You know, Blake Snell's good, but Glass now is not perfect. They have some holes there, and with the right pitching staff, and you got dominant pitchers like McClain and Tong in October, you start to think about a team that can win the whole thing. And we'll learn a lot tonight. You know, there's a chance Tong, maybe the moment's too big, he implodes. But I have a feeling we're going to see a magical night at Citi Field, and it ends with fireworks. You might have fireworks on the mound with Tong, and 2 days ago you saw McClain throw 8 shutout innings. I have a feeling Tong's going to throw 7 shutout innings tonight. I'm feeling like 10 strikeouts, 7 innings, no runs, 3 hits. I think a couple singles. That's my prediction for Jonah Tong tonight. And it's going to be a joy. And this young pitching is what can carry the Mets now. If they could avoid blunders like last night and defensive mishaps like last night, this pitching is what can get the Mets to the promised land. And they could be, you know, Clay Holmes is not a starter anymore. Let's be real. You see it. Make him a piggyback option. If Sproat comes here and start, fine. And if he implodes, you put Holmes in. But Holmes is not a 5, 6, 7 inning starter. Manaea, the stamina just doesn't look there to be a 5, 6, 7 inning starter. Your 5, 6, 7 inning starters may be these kids. We know Peterson can. Peterson's one of them. But Senga hasn't gone deep. McClain and Tong may be those horses that eat innings. Let us know, comment below your predictions for Jonah Tong at Citi Field tonight. It's going to be special. If you're going to the game, cherish these kind of moments because, you know, you think of the future he has and say, I was at Jonah Tong's first start. He's 22 years old. You think Seaver, you think Doc, maybe you think Tong. And with the way he's looked in the minor leagues, I know you're like, well, no, hold your horse. He's dominating hitters in the minor leagues. And tonight could be the start of that next special Mets pitcher internally. From the Toronto Mets when he was a kid to the New York Mets. The kid has a chip on his shoulder, man. A lot of guys got picked ahead of him. He might be better than all of them. Mets also got to think about September around the corner. On Monday, September 1st, when the Mets go to Detroit on Labor Day to face a good Tigers team. Maybe a World Series preview. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in Detroit. Who will the Mets September call-ups be? Now, it's usually a hitter and a pitcher. So, you know, the debate begins. What are the Mets going to do here? Well, first off, Francisco Alvarez ended up being the pinky injury. Remember, it was a small fracture in his left pinky finger when he was hit on Wednesday night. The Mets hope he will return to baseball activities as soon as this weekend. They say it should be relatively short. It's a little bit of a setback. So we'll see. Remember, he sprained his UCL on his right thumb. This is a fractured left pinky finger. They say he should be okay. Remember, he's catching with that hand. So we'll see how he responds. But the Mets hope Saturday or Sunday Alvarez is back out there. And how much he can endure the pain. That's going to be the thing. I think this will delay him a little bit. But at some point in September, they think he could be back. Going to be very interesting. He was hitting .323 in 21 games after returning from that demotion to the minor league. So let's see what he's got. Let's see what Alvy's got. But he's going to be one to replace Sanger, so that's not one of your two. My guess is it's going to be Sproat. McGill gave him a couple runs in rehab outing. He could be one of the guys, but I expect him to replace a Castillo probably or a Brazoban. So that's that move. My guess is it would be Sproat and Acuna. Acuna had that injury, but he's fine. He's been playing. Acuna and Sproat. And then when Siri or Winker are here, I would think Siri replaces Acuna and Winker replaces Taylor. That's the one that gets tricky when Siri or Winker are back. But I think the immediate September call-ups for now would be Sproat and Acuna. Let me know in the comments. Sproat and Acuna September call-ups? What do you think? But that's my guess for Monday. We'll have a happy Labor Day weekend, everybody. Enjoy. Mets, take 3 out of 4. You got Tong. You know, you should be able to win here. Tong, Peterson, Senga. You got your horses. Excited to see Tong tonight. Enjoy the game. Thanks for watching. Shout out to Nathaniel. You've won the 2 tickets to Mets Padres September 18th. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you Monday. Thanks for watching Mets Daily.